Welcome to the Purity Pulse podcast, your go-to podcast for the natural health industry and everything Purity Life. I'm Erin Macklin.
And I'm Julie Drapeau. And today we are at live in Calgary in our warehouse to celebrate our 40th anniversary.
That's right. The third of four.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so amazing to spend time with people in every region. I was talking to some of the broker partners and retailers, and they're so grateful that, we came to Calgary to celebrate as well.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned, we had two in the past. We had Vancouver and Laval.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a trek for them to come into and really connect with us here. So.
Yeah. A lot of the people that are a little bit closer to Calgary are excited that there's an event you know, in Calgary. So they're not having to travel all the way east or all the way west.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to be here. And they're so happy. Everybody here is so happy.
I know. It's always like small, we said that before, but I always find that it's like small mini CHFAs, like mini trade shows, but where you really get to have time to spend and invest time and remember like some good memories. And that's really good to, to hear that and remember that.
Yeah. More opportunity for that personal connection.
That's it. And
right?
40 years, again, we mentioned that before, but 40 years, there's a lot that has happened.
Yeah.
Lots of change in the industry.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to connect with, a lot of stores and the brands, the evolution of that timeline too.
Yes. Yes.
Some had one store, they have multiple. Some, were taking care of a certain small categories, and now they've created like some changes. And I won't say the name of the lady that we'll have as a guest, but she has such a wealth of knowledge and information.
Yes.
It's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go. Awesome. Well, our first guests today are Jason Cox, one of our Purity Life sales reps, and Angie Woods, a buyer with Calgary Co-op. So we're so excited to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
Yes, that's you have such a wealth of information and knowledge in the industry, Angie. Can you talk to us a little bit about Calgary Co-op, but also your background? How did you came to be today?
I've been in the industry for 35 years. I'm just coming up to 35 years in the industry.
Wow.
Started off a long time ago with Quest.
With Quest?
Yeah. And there's a small story, but I won't say it on camera. There's a small story because Matthew was there at the same time. But so through my journey, I've gone through both the natural industry and the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay.
Came back into the natural industry about 30 years ago and have been ever since. So
you worked in distribution before as well, I think. Right?
Yes, I was a sales rep. I was a sales manager for Cross Canada, and then I went into distribution. And 10 years ago, Calgary Co-op and I got together, and we had the vision of natural choice.
That's awesome. So natural choice exists since 10 years. Is that celebrating
10 years
here now?
Celebrating November 15th.
Yes.
So
tell us a little bit more for people who are listening. Natural choice is like the natural store within Calgary.
Within the Calgary Co-op.
Yeah. And you created that vision?
Yes, it was with another person and myself that had created the vision, and we put together. So I started with Calgary Co-op in June, and we opened our first natural choice in Crowfoot, our number 13 store, or Crowfoot store, and we started with 20 linear feet.
Yeah,
and we are now at 18 stores, 16 advisors, and it's around 100 linear feet in each store.
Wow. What growth over just 10 years.
The growth has been phenomenal.
Yeah. And I remember a meeting that I had with you and Jason a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And you were talking about expansion and new ideas. And I think that you have that new stores that is beautiful. That I'm looking forward to go see, and that you've, like, it's part of your vision. And obviously the success that you had made your management open up and letting you a little bit more of the free ways to continue that vision, right?
So we put in what's called a beauty bar.
Yes.
And in number 13, we tried for the first time with the renovations of the store itself, because it was our first store that we wanted to do our big celebration of 10 years.
Right.
So November 15th. We have put curved shelves in, and we put it a beauty bar. And
Nice.
The beauty bar consists of all the makeup and the skincare and so forth. So we are I always like to be first to market. That's
Oh,
always
I know.
been a
You have
passion
that.
of me.
Yes. Okay. That little edge of competition
Yeah.
that we see in your eyes.
Yeah,
Love
so,
it.
first to market. And I always tried to go for, of course, local first, because Calgary Co-op has been around for 65 years, local. So everybody knows us, and we are a true co-op.
Yeah.
And then from there we go Western Canada, and then all of Canada, and then
That's
rest of the world.
fantastic.
So
Yeah,
Love those
I love
values.
I love your ambition. Like, I think since day one that I've met you, I said that to Jason after. I said, she's not only has amazing ideas, she understands the market, and you have the nose for opportunity.
Yeah.
And you're a go-getter, because there's a lot of people, I would say, in the industry that we've met that have ideas, but they don't follow through. And you have that. And I think that, Calgary Co-op is very successful with all your ideas and what you're doing. So
Yeah.
we're celebrating our 40th, but I think it's a good opportunity for us to celebrate you.
Yes.
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 Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. It's fantastic. Yeah.
I really do.
Amazing. And Jason, can you tell us a little bit about how you connected with Angie?
Yeah, well, it's speaking of being first to market. Back in the early days of BioSteel,
Yes.
when I was with BioSteel, the first meeting I had in the industry was with Angie Wood at
Yeah.
Calgary Co-op, and it was my wife that actually introduced us. At the time, BioSteel maybe had 3 or 4 SKUs.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you want to talk about taking a chance. And when BioSteel first launched, it was
Yeah.
very interesting. It was actually only in sporting goods.
Right.
So Angie's actually the first grocer in the country to bring on the BioSteel brand. And now we see what
Oh,
the
nice.
BioSteel brand is today. So talk about a person that really has a
founder.
nose
Yeah.
Yeah.
for what's going to come. Fast forward to today. I mean, Angie and I have worked very closely for almost a decade now. Anytime my management team puts pressure on me to get new listings, I just call Angie, and she's there for me. I'm just kidding, but
Kind of.
it's been awesome to kind of. But it's been awesome to work with Angie on the co-op business, and like you said, it's the pioneering of the store within a store.
Right.
Yeah, that's innovative.
Before the natural choice set, I mean, locally here, you'd see a lot of your everyday grocery chains would let their customer leave and go somewhere else
Right.
to buy these natural products that the market was clamoring for. Angie comes along and says, well, we'll plop one of those right here and we'll make all that money. And it's just been a huge success. So
Wow. Good for you.
Servicing the customer.
yeah.
And that's exactly it. It's a whole health idea,
Yeah.
because we do have the pharmacies, we do have the fresh produce, we have the organic
Yeah.
meats, and having the advisors there, that was our key thing.
Yeah.
It was like, you've got to have an advisor in each of those
Right.
stores to help your
Yeah.
customer.
Makes such a difference, right?
It really did make a difference. The pharmacy was fantastic because, I mean, let's face it, the pharmacy is there for their customers on that, but it was a different type of customer too. It was a
Yeah.
customer that was just starting into the field of natural health,
Right.
making those choices, changing their lifestyle.
Yeah.
But they felt intimidated if they had gone to outside of a grocery store.
Right.
So this was a completely different.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and I think that the fact that you kept advisors.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
we all know that during COVID, people eliminated people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because especially in the natural category,
Yep.
when you are a grocery, people that are coming to buy their conventional items, they don't have the knowledge
Yes.
necessarily, right?
Yeah.
And they hear a lot of things. But then when you have somebody that is there to help them, to educate them on, their needs, and it's such an edge.
It is.
It is.
Yep.
It absolutely is. And again, we encourage, stores to do that, to bring that back.
Yeah.
Because people want that connection.
They want.
And so again, like, kudos to you, because you understood that and you keep it going.
And we do. And,
Yeah.
and like I said, the pharmacists, bless their hearts too, they love it because sometimes they don't have that time or the knowledge about herbs and probiotics and
some
so
of the
forth.
alternatives. Yeah.
So for them to be able to say, hey, come on over, talk to our advisor here, we'll help you out on this.
Yeah.
And if there is any contraindications or anything, we can check with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big win too.
It's a
Support.
very big
Yeah.
win for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, we do always talk about meeting your customers where they are, and I think you've really managed to accomplish that with what you've done, bringing that to right into the store.
Yeah, so much offer on the market that it becomes very, very confusing, right?
It does.
So it's helping them and then discovering new products and everything. So
I think sorry to jump in.
yeah,
What I've been able to see Angie and her team do, what Angie brings to her advisors is, we work with a lot of partners when they do training. They talk a lot about every little ingredient, and that's not important. But Angie's actually given the advisors tools when it comes to selling as well, too.
Right.
Understanding you're not pushing something on a customer, but how to listen and to find those key things that they need.
Yes.
So their advisors are also getting like more training on a business level as well, too, as of course hand in hand with the knowledge they have from their practical school.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's an amazing business model. It
Yeah.
really is.
yeah. Well, you're a business as well, right? It's, you want to give the advice to the consumers, but at the same time, you're a business that needs to run, right? Otherwise, you won't exist anymore. It's very comparable to like our distribution. You need to adapt with everything that changed.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they won't be 40 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly it. I mean, a lot of our grocery managers, some of them are standing over there.
Yeah.
A lot of them they were never exposed to anything like this. So when I came along 10 years ago and they're going, oh, what? What do you mean? Okay. So they're all getting educated, and I'm so happy too that they're all excited, about coming down and seeing the house and seeing the whole thing as where it comes to when it gets to actually on their farm.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of them actually come to a lot of our meetings, a lot of our webinars.
Yeah.
They'll sit
Yeah,
in on
that's
it
good.
because
Yeah.
they want that information, not only for themselves, but for their, customers as well.
Yeah.
As you said earlier when we were talking, you need to be excited when you get up in the morning to go to work, right? So it's all part of that passion of the overall.
Yeah.
So it's
And they're lucky that they get the opportunity to kind of gain some of that passion from you. You can see that that's coming right from you to your team that we've seen here as well too, which is super cool.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're all learning stuff. I mean, you'll never stop learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Never.
The day that you feel you finish, then it's because you need to maybe move on into somewhere else, right?
Yep, exactly.
I'm curious, with all those years with working with Purity, you mentioned Matthew earlier with Quas, but is there any funny things or something that comes to mind, that a good souvenir that you would like to share?
Oh boy, don't get me started on some of those ones.
I'm so interested now.
Yeah, we're so excited.
There's a lot more behind this.
Oh boy, probably not stuff that I should say on camera.
Come on.
No, we've had a really good relationship with yourselves. You know, we've and like anything else, we've had ups and downs, but we've got through them.
Yeah.
And like I said, as long as we're still having fun. Okay.
Absolutely.
Your support. We couldn't do it without your support. We couldn't do We couldn't do our business without the support of every single vendor, every single distributor, everybody who is out there. We are a team in this industry.
Yeah.
We really are. One of my bosses came out to CHFA one time. And of course, we were all, as we greet each other, we hug. We talk.
The industry.
And yes, we do a lot of lateral moving. Some people have gone to this and this and this. And he said to me, and he says, "You'll never see Coke and Pepsi hugging like that."
Right.
And I was like, but this is the industry.
This is the industry.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
It is the beauty.
It's amazing and warm and supportive and
Yeah,
in pharmaceuticals for
Yeah.
a few years.
It's a bit different.
different.
Huh? Yeah, I've been there. It's a little different.
Yeah, a little different. It's like, oh, okay.
Yes, that's why we invest those years here, and we're very happy. And as you said, people move laterally. They work here and then they change. But we all kind of stay.
We
within
all
the
stay
same.
within friends. So, and because too, is that one day you might be on that other side.
Yep.
And I think that was the other thing that we always talked about too, is when I started the Natural Choice, we had a little bit of, what's the word for it?
Pushback. Pushback.
Yeah, pushback.
Yes.
There was a lot of people who said, nah, this
It's not gonna fly.
work, it's
Right.
not going to fly.
Yeah,
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Well, getting through those months, it's almost like having my own child and saying,
It is.
okay,
You got to nourish it and grow it.
we
Yeah.
grew up with them, we've nurtured them,
Yeah.
But again, without the vendors behind us and saying, yes, you know what?
Support you and believe in your vision.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
It's
couldn't do it without these guys.
And 10 years ago, who would have thought you'd be a CHFA award nominee, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
The CHFA nomination.
Oh,
for the-
right.
Yes.
Sorry.
In the West.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Just saying, like going from we used to
Yeah.
talk about this early days where it was there were distributors, there were brands that were like you almost thought you were too mass,
Yep.
too FDM.
Oh, for sure. The image
we couldn't do
before,
that.
it's
And,
not.
like,
Yeah.
Fast forward to
Yeah.
this last a CHFA.
Yeah.
The world has
nominee.
Yeah,
changed.
recognition.
Yeah. The world
Yeah.
has changed, and I think that you've incorporated like the best of both worlds, basically. I think so too. Yeah, definitely.
It's worked out really well on that one. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, Shane, is that I was once on their side.
Absolutely.
I had been a rep.
Yeah.
I call it the dark side too.
No, yeah.
Not being a rep, but being in
exactly.
pharmaceutical, that is very different and conventional.
Yep.
You get to understand.
Yeah.
So having that experience and taking that experience and going, okay, I was once a rep. I'd also worked for a distributor. So I knew
Yeah.
how things worked on
Yeah.
that set. So when we set this up and these were some of the points that I had, made out to the executives of
Yeah.
Co-op and said, look, in order for this to work, we got to do
There's all
it.
the
And
pieces.
we have to incorporate it and we got to do it smartly.
Yeah. Well, and with that experience, you knew all the challenges. You knew what all of the kind of pushback was going to be about. So you were in a position to be able to kind of.
Going to be some pushback.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, and I like it, is, 3 years after we started or 4 years after we started, there was a lot of knocks on the door. Going,
Yeah.
come in. Nope. No, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
say that.
No.
So,
No.
Always
Exactly.
open. Always open.
Good for you.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Definitely.
you.
It's great to have the chance to have some sit time and discuss with you what you've created.
Thank you
And
very
to many, many, many years. And we're very excited to go see your new store. I can't wait.
Oh, yes.
I'm
please.
excited.
Yes, please.
I will.
And
Beautiful.
like I said,
you.
we're going to be celebrating on November 15th, the 10th year. So we'll have a big splash.
Amazing.
We'll go celebrate.
You betcha.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Thank you so
Anyway,
much.
Thanks,
thank
Angie.
you.
Thanks, Jason.
Okay.
So we are now with Phil Belay, our warehouse manager in Calgary here, and we're super excited to learn a little bit more about you and share it with our listeners. So, how long have you been with us here? And tell us a little bit about what you do on a daily basis here at Purity.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Aaron and Julie. So my name is Phil Bellier, and I've been with Purity now just over 5 years, I would say.
Yes.
I think May 8th was my 5th year here. So, distribution manager here
Yes.
from the beginning. So it's been super exciting to see this place, grow and where we were at 5 years ago to where we are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Just organizing the team here, making sure, our orders get allocated, making sure that everything gets out to our customers, nice, clean, organized, and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it started from the ground. I think that we're talking earlier, and Matthew was talking that it was from like ground to nothing, and then
From the dirt.
Yeah, exactly, the dirt. And today, so you've seen and you've participated in a lot of efficiencies and all of that, right, through the 5 years.
Yeah, it's grown a lot, and a lot of things that we've adopted, new processes, new procedures, and things like that. So I've been along for the journey for the whole 5 years, which has been super exciting and rewarding for myself.
Yes.
And I've really truly, loved my time here, and I'm enjoying it as, every day kind of thing. So.
Anything particularly memorable or surprising in that kind of process of the building from the ground up and kind of getting everything initiated?
Yeah, I'd say my biggest memory would be when we started shipping orders, kind of September 25th of 2019.
Burned in your brain, eh?
It's it's embedded in my brain, and it's it was a moment that was, you step back and you look at where we were and where we came from, just from being here when this place was really just four walls.
Yes.
And Brian entrusting me to kind of take it to the next level and,
Right.
and support that he gave me to do that as well.
Yeah.
I would step back sometimes and I tell the team members here, it's absolutely amazing to step back and just look and be like, wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
came from
We did
nothing
this.
to what
Yeah.
it is today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Amazing.
it's been fun, a lot of fun.
So you're managing all the operation down here, but you also manage people. And so what would be like your greatest, what are you the most proud of with the team here?
I think that the team here is really a cross-functional team.
Yeah.
And that really bodes well for the business that we can do here, is having we are a bit of a smaller team, but being cross-functional and being able to have team members cross-train in other departments, so we can utilize those resources and allocate them appropriately in terms of demand, where the demand is, for any given day.
Yeah.
Just truly having a team that's on board to do that. Not everybody sometimes doesn't like to be pulled away from their daily tasks, and I'm used to doing this, and this is what I'm
That's it.
accustomed
That's
to
my
do.
box.
That's right. And so being able to have people, want to transition into something different and move into different departments and understand that role and
Yeah.
grow with Purity. And then, other highlights have been, we've had a number of people that have been promoted here. And so I've been able to
is
promote
great.
within. We've had some people that were, on our invoicing team, and now is our shipping supervisor. So,
Yeah.
there's room for growth here. I tell everybody that there's always room to grow with Purity, and to keep doing, a good job and trying to learn as much as you can, to truly be the best you can.
Yeah.
So we can learn a little bit more about you. What is kind of a typical Phil Bellier day in the life look like?
Oh, that's a good question. Really coming in and making sure that we're communicating to the team what we have in front of us for that specific day. Making sure that we conduct all of our stand-ups on a daily basis, so the team is aware of what we're starting with, how many orders we have.
So you have stand-up meetings, regular stand-up meetings?
That's right. Yeah. So we have a stand up every morning with the picking and replenishment team.
Okay.
And then making sure that we, stand up with the supervisors as well, making sure that we're communicating, what is our objective for the day? What do we have to get accomplished?
Yeah.
And what that kind of looks like for the day. And then obviously looking at where we can allocate resources for that day if the need is there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, be right on top of the focus and challenges, being able to discuss all of that and offering support at the same time. Yeah, those meetings are pretty important, definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're key to what we do, is being able to connect and make sure that we're having those conversations, so we're all on the same page and we can do what we have to do to get things done in that specific day.
Absolutely. And personally to you, what do you do as, I would say, something, because it's very demanding job like that. I always say that it's, your brain, well, physically as well, but your brain. So what do you do personally to let go of that? Are you, do you play sports? How do you relax?
Yeah, so I'm definitely still a hockey player.
Yes.
I enjoy hockey very much.
Yeah.
I did just go through 2 knee surgeries, so I've been sidelined
boy.
for quite some time.
Oh boy.
So I've kind of tore my ACL and MCL in both my right and left knee.
Oh, man.
Due to hockey, so it's been a challenge. I'm on the road
Love
to
age
recovery.
relationship.
That's right. I'm looking to sign up again this year. I'm a little bit nervous because I've gotten the green light to get back to being a little bit physical and get back to the gym and that kind of thing. So hopefully everything goes well and I don't re-injure myself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's
It's harder to get back into it when you have this personal knowledge of what the risk is, right? Like now you've seen, okay, this is what can happen. This could be what your reality is. So sometimes I think it takes a bit more guts to really get back into it.
Yeah,
right?
well, it's always the you're like, you have a passion for something.
Yeah.
But then you have the brain that is speaking,
Yeah.
telling you that, not sure. But then the passion is like, yeah, no, just go for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of what I like to do, outside of that too, is a lot of camping, and I'm an outdoors kind of guy. So
Yeah.
that goes hand in hand with being able to operate and have two functioning knees.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
And
was
being here in Calgary, I mean, you have like the just open the door here, and it's the outdoors. So that's perfect place to live for you. That's for sure.
That's right. Yeah, you can see the mountains right from the office,
Yeah.
which is beautiful.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's amazing. So, Phil, tell us a little bit more about the robotic pallet wrapper. This is new, right?
New toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a new piece of equipment that we've
Yeah.
gotten. I think it's been roughly about a month ago or so. This piece of equipment is very efficient. Not only do we reduce some consumable costs in terms of the wrapping of the pallets, but it's also man hours as well. The beauty about the piece of machinery that we have is the pallet wrap before a manual process versus an automated process, obviously. Exactly. Going around in a circle.
Exactly.
And dizzy and,
Dizzy and being,
It's
and
hard.
bit of a, I wouldn't, a bit of a safety concerns. You got to be mindful of where you're turning and that
yeah.
kind of thing when you're going around the pallet. Definitely one of the highlights of the machine is before on a manual process, you would get about 20% pull as you're kind of going around the pallets versus with this automated piece of equipment, we can get up to 240%.
The tightness
The
of it?
tightness,
Yes.
that's correct. So
Okay.
the stretch is 240%.
Wow.
What that really does is help us go through, a pallet of pallet wrap a lot less. So we're
Yeah.
running a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
And there's lots of little things and functionalities within this automated pallet wrapper where we can tweak according to what kind of skid and sizing that we're shipping out to our customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we have something that might be going for, a longer distance, we might wrap it and have a different application for that versus one that might be just going to, say, one of our distribution centers close by to be broken down and being sent out to our
Right.
customers. So
that must prevent a lot of damages too, if you can sort of manage that too.
that's
'cause
correct. Yeah, a lot of damages are
Yeah.
prevented from that. It's a safe, secure load.
Yeah.
As well as, one of the biggest highlights for me is just the manual process for the team. Eliminating
Yeah.
that has
Yeah.
been huge.
It's
We
pretty
do-
neat too. We got to
Yeah.
see it yesterday in action, and it looked like it was super
It's
simple
fast.
to use
Yeah.
and surprisingly mobile. Like it's a decent size, but it gets around. You don't need that
Yeah.
much space to be able
Yeah.
to kind of use it where
Just
you're at.
thinking about wrapping just one pallet like that, like manually,
Oh.
and it's like you stop and you're like, "Whoa, where am I going?"
We do it always at the end of the trade
I know,
shows.
that's
We're
what I was
always
thinking about
wrapping
the
and
trade
wrapping.
show.
And,
Yeah.
it's
And
like
you
our
see
biggest
that
complaint.
It's incredible what you've done here. It was a new baby for Purity Life 5 years ago, and you've brought a lot of efficiencies. And I know that you also work with all the other distribution manager, and all of you guys together makes it better for our retailers when they receive their shipments and helping us all. So thank you for all of what you do every day that's helping us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you for watching and listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and send us your feedback at marketing@puritylife.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at Purity Life Health Products LP, myself at JD_Girl Power.
And I'm at Erin G. Macklin.
And what do we have next week?
Next week, come back because we're going to talk to Alain Menard of Green Beaver.
Mm-hmm.